Welcome to the Church of Now podcast, where we believe kids and students and young adults can make a difference now in the moment. We don't just ask them to be the future of the church, but we believe that they are the church of now. We're going to be talking with ministry leaders about what it looks like to inspire and tell young adults and kids and students what it looks like to make a difference now in the church. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the podcast.
Hey, my name is Matt Mangrum, and I'm so excited to start the Church of Now podcast. Super excited. Tell you a little bit about me. I am the youth pastor at Poplar Ridge Christian Church in Piney Flats, Tennessee. I grew up in Bristol, Tennessee, which is only about 10 minutes from where I'm working right now. And what I love to do is be with students. I love young people. I'm a youth minister. And one of the reasons that we're starting this podcast is because I believe in the younger generations. Now, I believe in the older generations too, but I believe it's important that we tell the younger generations that they are the church of now. And I want to talk about this first episode and kind of intro you into the idea of the church of now. See, these are going to be posted on YouTube. They'll be posted anywhere that you can find your podcast. And I'm super excited because this first season is going to be 10 episodes, and they're going to be posted every single Monday after we launch this initial episode. Super stoked, super excited for this. And you might ask the question, why is there a Church of Now podcast? Like we talked about a second ago, I just believe that if we tell the younger generations, if the older generations and the boomers and every single generation in the church will say that the Gen Z and millennials are the church of now, then I believe the church as a whole changes. I believe that the world changes. Because when we start to tell students and we start to tell young adults that they have a place and that they have a purpose in this moment, then things change. The way that we live changes. The way that we see things changes. And the way that the church is, the way that the world is, it starts to look a little bit better because people want to have a place where they can have value. People want to have a place where they can have a purpose. And if we can start telling people when they're young that they have a purpose in the church, then I believe that the world can change. Here's the thing. Most people come to know Jesus before they leave high school. They go to church, maybe they grow up in church, maybe they're invited by a friend in middle or high school, but that's just the truth. Most people that come to faith in Jesus before they leave high school. But another thing is this, that most people leave the faith after high school. They might have come into youth group, they might have come into kids ministry at their church, but after they graduate high school, they leave the faith. And if you've ever been to college, you've ever been to a secular university, you know that there's a lot of temptation, a lot of things that we can chase after in the world, and we lose our faith. So the truth is, most people come to know Jesus before they leave high school, but also most people leave the faith after they graduate high school. Here is a fact. If students don't go to church within the first 2 weeks during their freshman year of college, they're probably never going back. That's a scary stat, especially for me as a youth minister because, a lot of people think that my job ends once they graduate out of the youth program, once they graduate out of high school, but I don't want to set our students up for problems, right? I want to set them up for success. And my role is not just somebody who works with them during middle and high school, but somebody who walks along with them throughout their college years too. Because so many times in the church, we get it a little twisted. Sometimes we don't put a lot of focus on college-age students, but they need it too. And so throughout the podcast, I want us to understand the importance of believing in the younger generations. Gen Z and millennial students and young adults are not lazy. They want to have a purpose. They want to have a commitment. They want to be a part of a movement. And I believe that if the church will get behind them, then we can ultimately change the world. I truly believe that. But we have to start today telling them that they have a purpose and they have value and that they have a place where they can make a difference. I truly believe this. There's a lot of people in my life that have changed the way that I see myself, in the way that I see the church, in the way that I see Jesus. When I was in middle school and high school, I was given opportunities to speak. That's one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to be in ministry. I wanted to be able to speak to my friends and to speak to people about Jesus. And I had those opportunities. And without those opportunities, I wouldn't be where I am today. And it's because those people that invested into me and gave me those opportunities believed that I was the church in that moment. So many times we tell people, hey, you need to wait till you graduate high school. Or you need to wait till you graduate college. Or you need to wait till you have kids and get married. But that's not the truth. And so many times we believe that. We believe that, once I graduate high school, I'm going to come to faith. Once I graduate college and I get all my fun years out of the way, then I'll start following Jesus. But that's not what it's supposed to be about. We're the church of now, and we need to act like that. It's important for us to know that we have a place and we have a purpose, no matter what age we're in. And some of you that are listening might say, well, I'm not a Gen Z or a millennial. Maybe you're a part of the older generations. This podcast is for you too. Because at the end of the day, you know people that are Gen Z and millennial. You know people that are in a lot of different generations. And in fact, we have 5 different generations within the church right now. And those of you all that aren't in the younger generations, you have a purpose too. And it's to encourage those younger generations. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be taking your spot one day as an older generation, quote unquote, right? We have to encourage, we have to empower, because at the end of the day, so many times we say they're the future of the church. They will be the future of the church, but they're also the church of now. It's important that all generations get behind one another and do whatever we can to serve Jesus. Because when we believe that, change starts to happen. I'm so excited for this podcast. And I'm excited because it's not just going to be me talking every single week. Throughout the weeks that we are doing this, throughout season 1, we're going to be talking to a lot of different people in different backgrounds, different ministry experience. We're going to be talking to people like Micah McGee, who is a youth pastor out in Colorado Springs. We're going to be talking to Austin Garrett, who is the youth pastor in Lewis, Delaware. And in the same church, Mark McGee, which is actually Micah McGee's dad. Mark has been a pastor for almost 30 years at the same church in Delaware. We're going to be talking to Daniel Overdorf, who is a professor at Johnson University and teaches preaching and Bible. We're going to be talking to a lot of different people, and I'm excited because they all believe that the younger generations are the church of now. And I'm super excited. So every single Monday, we will see you back here on the Church of Now podcast. First of all, thanks for checking it out. I really believe it's going to make a difference in your lives and in the lives of many people, because once we say that we are the church of now, things start to change. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next Monday.